Most gardeners lose half their harvest before they ever put a seed in the ground. Not because they planted the wrong things, not because of bad soil or bad weather, because they planted at the wrong time. And here's the part that'll sting a little. The window that changes everything is not some mysterious 6-week stretch in June. It's April. 4 weeks. That's the difference between a garden that feeds your family from July through October and a garden that gives you a handful of zucchini in August and calls it a season. I've been growing food in my backyard for over 20 years. I got this wrong for the first 3. Today, I'm going to show you the 10 seeds you must start in April, and exactly why getting this one thing right can 2 or 3 times your harvest by fall. Old-time growers didn't need a calendar app to tell them when to plant. They read the land. They watched oak leaves unfurl. They pushed a thumb into the soil and trusted what they felt. That knowledge, the kind passed down at the garden gate, got replaced by whatever was printed on the back of a seed packet. What those packets don't tell you is that temperature is everything. Researchers confirmed that seeds planted in 65 to 85 degree soil germinate in 6 to 8 days with a 98% success rate. Those same seeds in 50 degree soil take up to 43 days and only 82% survive. That gap is the difference between March and April, between a struggling garden and a thriving one. Today, I'm going to show you 10 seeds that will change the way you think about your spring garden forever. Stick around because number 6 on this list is a Native American companion planting system that will make everything else on your list produce more, and it costs nothing extra. And number 10 is so fundamental, so embarrassingly simple that I almost didn't include it. But it's the single biggest reason some backyard gardeners outproduce everyone else on their street. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we post practical, real-world growing content every week that'll save you money at the grocery store and help you take back control of what's on your family's table. So let's get into it. Number 1, basil. I want to start here because basil is the one plant every gardener thinks they know how to grow, and almost nobody gets the full yield from it. I planted it for years by grabbing a 6-pack from the hardware store in June and wondering why it bolted so fast. I was giving myself 4 weeks of harvest when I could have had 4 months. Here's how Italian growers, the people who built Genovese pesto into a culinary institution, have always done it. Start seeds indoors in April, 6 weeks before last frost, a 1/4 inch deep between 70 and 85 degrees. They germinate in 5 to 14 days. Once nights stay above 50, transplant into the garden 10 to 12 inches apart. The variety the Genovese tradition relies on is called Genovese. Large, dark, fragrant leaves, slow to bolt, the standard for 100 years because it earns it. Here's why April matters so much. Every time you cut basil above a leaf node, never more than 1/3 of the plant, it branches out and gives you 2 or 3 new stems instead of 1. An April indoor start means transplant in May, first harvest in late June, cutting through September, 3 to 5 serious harvests. A June direct sow gets you 1, maybe 2 if the heat cooperates. 12 plants will give you 4 to 6 cups of fresh leaves a week at peak season. Keep them next to tomatoes, the way Italian kitchen gardeners have always grown them. Number 2, pole beans. My grandfather grew Kentucky Wonder pole beans up rough cedar posts he'd cut from the back fence line, and he planted them the last week of April every year, when, as he put it, the soil's warm enough to hold. I didn't understand how important that was until I tried growing bush beans and wondered why I was barely filling a colander. Here's what nobody talks about enough with pole beans. They yield up to 3 times as many beans as bush varieties. Bush beans give you one big flush, 2 weeks of serious production, and then they're done. Pole beans keep climbing, keep flowering, keep setting pods for 5 or 6 weeks straight. Plant April-sown pole beans against a 6-foot trellis, 6 inches apart, and you're picking from late June into September. The critical rule my grandfather knew without reading it anywhere. Beans rot below 60 degrees. The seed absorbs moisture, swells up, and dies. At 70 to 80 degrees, it germinates in 7 to 10 days, strong and clean. 2 weeks too early and you lose seeds. Oh, 2 weeks too late and you lose the harvest window. April is that threshold for most of the country. Varieties I return to every year. Kentucky Wonder for the classic heirloom experience. Blue Lake Pole for heavy, consistent yields. Scarlet Runner for brilliant red flowers that hummingbirds lose their minds over. 1 inch deep, no soaking, no added nitrogen. Beans fix their own. Number 3, cucumbers. Here is a number worth remembering, 99. That's the germination rate for cucumber seeds at 77 degrees soil. At 59 degrees, 95%, but those seeds take 13 days instead of 4. Below 50 degrees, 0. They sit there and rot. This is exactly why gardeners who start transplants indoors in late April and move them out when soil crosses 65 degrees get cucumbers in July. Everyone else waits until August and wonders what went wrong. Cucumbers have been grown in India for over 3,000 years, spread through the Mediterranean, and every culture that cultivated them figured out the same thing. Heat at the roots, consistent moisture above. Start seeds indoors the last week of April, ½ inch deep. Ready to transplant in 2 to 3 weeks, spaced 12 to 18 inches apart. Marketmore 76 is a reliable slicer, disease-resistant, 8 to 9 inch fruits, been around since the 70s for good reason. Boston pickling for jars. Diva if you want a container-friendly type that sets fruit without pollinators. The yield mistake I see constantly, letting cucumbers over-mature on the vine. A big yellow cucumber signals the plant to stop producing. Harvest every 2 to 3 days. Never let anything reach the yellowing stage. And one well-timed April planting keeps you in cucumbers from July through September. Number 4, dill. Stay with me for 10 seconds because I know what you're thinking. Dill is one of the oldest cultivated herbs on the planet. Egyptians used it 5,000 years ago. The Vikings called it dilla, meaning to soothe, and carried seeds on their longships. It shows up in almost every pickling tradition in the world. There's a reason. The April window is the sweet spot, cool enough to slow bolting, warm enough to germinate, and perfectly timed so your seed heads arrive right when your cucumbers do. That's not an accident. It's the natural rhythm old-time picklers counted on. Direct sow in April, 1/8 to 1/4 inch deep. Dill needs light, so don't bury it. Thin to 10 inches. In 40 to 60 days, you'll have feathery leaves ready for cutting. In about 90 days, full seed heads for pickling. Bouquet is the classic. Fern leaf is a compact dwarf AAS winner that stays manageable. Mammoth goes 5 feet tall and makes enormous seed heads worth the space. The real yield move is succession planting every 3 weeks from April through June. Fresh dill from May through September instead of a 2-week window and then nothing. Always direct sow. The taproot hates disturbance. Number 5, summer squash and zucchini. I'm going to say something that might validate you or send you straight to the comments. 1 zucchini plant is enough for most families. 2 is generous. 3 is a cry for help. Italian gardeners who developed modern zucchini in the Milan and Genoa regions in the 19th century always harvested young, 6 to 8 inches. They picked the flowers to cook, kept up with the fruit, and never let anything overripen. Their plants kept producing all summer. Start indoors in April, 1 inch deep, 4 weeks before last frost, or direct sow late April in zone 7 and warmer. Soil must be at 65 degrees, space 18 to 36 inches apart. Black Beauty is the heirloom standard, 50 days, heavy producer. Costata Romanesco is an Italian ribbed heirloom with nutty flavor that's worth finding. Harvest every 2 to 3 days. A zucchini left to reach 2 feet tells the plant its work is done. It slows, it stops flowering. Keep harvesting, keep the plant working. And a single April planted zucchini will produce from June through October, 5 months from one seed. Now we're getting into the really remarkable ones. If you're finding this valuable, hit that like button right now. It helps this reach people who are tired of overcomplicating something as ancient as growing food. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click that button and ring the bell. We're building a community of growers who believe that simplicity and working with nature will always beat expensive complexity. Let's keep going. Number 6, the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash. Native American farmers, the Haudenosaunee, the Cherokee, the Hopi, the Mandan, developed this system over thousands of years. They called it Di-o-ha-ko, our sustainers, not three crops planted close by chance. An intentional polyculture. Modern research has confirmed what those farmers already knew. The three sisters together produce more energy and more protein per acre than monoculture of any single crop. A 500-year-old system outperforming modern single-crop agriculture. In an April garden, corn goes in first. Late April, when soil hits 60 degrees, 1 inch deep, in blocks of at least 4 rows. Single rows give you cobs with missing kernels. Peaches and cream is reliable and genuinely sweet at 75 to 83 days. When corn reaches 6 inches, plant pole beans in a ring around each stalk. They fix nitrogen from the air and feed the corn. When beans start climbing, direct south squash at the base. The big leaves shade the ground, hold moisture and crowd out weeds. 3 crops, 1 planting. They sustain each other. I have never had pest pressure in a three sisters bed come close to what I see in my monoculture rows. 4 seasons of watching it work. Number 7, melons. Here is the single strongest argument for April seed starting in this entire video. The germination rate for watermelon seeds at 59 degree soil is 17%. At 68 degrees, it hits 94%, a 5.5 times improvement from 10 degrees of warmth. Cantaloupe is even more dramatic, 38% at 68 degrees, 94% at 77. This is not a marginal difference. This is the difference between a melon harvest and no melon harvest. With 70 to 100 days to maturity, melons need every warm day they can get. In zones 5 through 7, an April indoor start is often the only path to real fruit. Start seeds in late April, 1 inch deep, 2 or 3 per pot, thin to the strongest. The transplant when soil holds above 65 degrees. Lay black plastic mulch before transplanting. It warms the soil 2 weeks ahead and advances your harvest on the other end. A free month of season from a roll of plastic. Crimson sweet watermelon at 80 days is the standard. Disease-resistant, high sugar, 25 to 35 pounds. Sugar Baby is the compact icebox type for smaller gardens, 75 days. For cantaloupe, Hale's Best Jumbo is an 85-day classic with orange flesh and a fragrance that reaches you from across the garden. Cut back on watering the last 2 weeks before harvest. It concentrates the sugars. Growers in France and Spain have done it for generations. It's what separates a good melon from a great one. Number 8, sunflowers. Sunflowers are one of only 4 crops native to the United States. Before European contact, Native American farmers, the Hidatsa, the Hopi, the Mandan, had already bred sunflowers from a modest wild plant into something with seeds 10 times the original size. They grew them for flour, for a paste like peanut butter, for dyes and medicine, and planted them on the north edge of the Three Sisters Garden as a windbreak and a pollinator beacon. Oklahoma State research shows sunflower yields decline as planting moves from April into June. Earlier timing captures the full season. Direct sow once soil hits 50 degrees, 1 to 1.5 inches deep, never more than 2. Standard varieties need 12 inches between plants. Giants need 24. Uneven spacing causes a 31% yield reduction, so thin them properly. Mammoth Russian is the edible seed heirloom, 10 to 12 feet tall, over 120 years in cultivation. Autumn Beauty is the multi-branching type for pollinators, blooming again and again from one plant. Succession plant every 2 to 3 weeks from April through June. The pollinators they pull in improve yields on everything else growing nearby. That dividend is worth as much as the seeds themselves. Number 9, Nasturtiums. I'll be honest, I ignored nasturtiums for years. Thought they were flowers for people without enough room for real vegetables. Completely wrong. Nasturtiums are native to the Andes. The Incas prized them as a salad vegetable and medicinal herb. Thomas Jefferson grew them at Monticello from 1774 and cataloged them as a vegetable, pickling the seeds as a caper substitute. Everything about this plant is edible: flowers, leaves, on seed pods. And it does more companion planting work than almost anything else in the garden. Plant them near your tomatoes and cucumbers and watch what happens to your aphid pressure. Aphids go to nasturtiums first, every time. They're a trap crop, also a pollinator magnet and a ground cover that holds moisture and crowds out weeds. And here's the part I love most: they thrive on neglect. Do not put them in rich soil. Do not fertilize them. Rich soil means all leaves and no flowers. Nasturtiums want poor, slightly dry conditions, and they give you more in return for less than any other plant I grow. Sow in late April, directly in the ground, 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep. Soak seeds overnight first. Hard coat benefits from it. Thin to 10 to 12 inches. Empress of India is the classic deep red heirloom from 1884. Jewel mix covers red, orange, yellow, and cream. All edible, continuous bloom until the first hard frost, asking nothing from you in return. Before we get to number 10, let me be honest about 3 patterns I see constantly, and I'm including my own past self here. The first pattern is waiting for perfect conditions. The old timers I learned from didn't have a soil thermometer. They pushed a thumb in the ground, felt warmth, and planted. Close enough worked. The second pattern is one big planting weekend and then nothing. Gardeners who have food all season plant in waves: April, May, June. The harvest comes in waves too, and you never hit a dry spell. The third pattern is skipping the humble seeds: beans, dill, nasturtiums, in favor of headline crops. But those supporting plants are what make the headline crops produce more. They're not filler, they're the system. And here we are at number 10, the one I saved for last because it represents everything we've talked about today. Number 10, pumpkins and winter squash. I know, you expected something exotic, and I'm standing here talking about pumpkins. Stick with me. What I want you to understand about winter squash, Waltham butternut, delicata, table queen acorn, is that these are not summer crops that happen to mature in fall. They are the fall harvest, the food that fills a root cellar and feeds a family in November, December, January, without refrigeration. Every indigenous farming tradition in North America, the Haudenosaunee, the Cherokee, the Tohono O'odham, treated winter squash as survival food, not a garnish, not porch decoration, food that kept people alive through winter. And here is the timing reality most modern gardeners miss. These crops have 90 to 120 days to maturity. Count backward from your first frost date. If frost comes October 15th, you need plants in the ground by mid-June at the latest, which means seeds started in late April. For most of the country, April isn't just a good time to start pumpkins, it is the only time. Start seeds in late April, 1 to 1.5 inches deep, 2 or 3 per pot. Transplant when soil holds at 65 degrees and frost risk is gone. Give vining types 50 to 100 square feet each. They need the room. Leave the stem on when you harvest. A snapped stem is an open door for rot. Small sugar is the classic pie pumpkin. 100 days, 5 to 8 pounds. Dense, sweet flesh. Waltham butternut is the most reliable winter squash I've grown. Disease-resistant, stores through February, and it gets sweeter after a few weeks off the vine. Delicata is the underrated one. Edible skin, sweet potato flavor, small enough that one feeds 2 people. 100 days. I started taking winter squash seriously about 8 years ago, after a hard winter when I genuinely needed what was in the cellar. And I can tell you that pulling a Waltham butternut out of storage in January, one you started from a 50-cent seed back in April, feels completely different from anything you can buy at a store. It tastes different. It means something different. That connection between a seed and a meal, with nothing in between but time and attention and a little warm soil. That's what this whole thing is about. That's what the old-time growers understood that we're still remembering. You don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need a greenhouse or a subscription box. You need 10 good seeds, the right month, and the patience to let them do what they were made to do. April is the month. These are the seeds. If you learned something today, if even one of these seeds changes what your garden looks like this fall, hit that like button. It genuinely helps other growers find this. Drop a comment below. Are you Team Winter Squash, Team Melons, or Team Three Sisters? And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Your garden remembers what you plant in April. Make sure you give it something worth remembering.